me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god. Let's go.
Hello, folks. Richard Moore, USAGSA. Today we have a continuance of the Rebecca Baumgardner story, the YouTuber that was wrongfully convicted and given 24 mandatory years in prison. Today, we're going to talk about some damning evidence that has come forth, that has been brought to light, as it pertains to judicial misconduct and obstruction of justice with the sheriff and the judge, and could get criminal charges for both of them and or removed from office. And of course, her case overturned. So I won't spoil it for you. Rebecca's going to be calling from prison here in a minute, and we're going to be talking about that. There's a lot of things working on this. And what we're talking about is a matter of fact. It's on the record. They've admitted it, but it's illegal. And not just unethical, but it's illegal. Obstruction of justice is a felony, and it's a crime. So I want to remind you, in the description of the video is our link tree. In that link tree, the links to our different platforms, the blogs. We write stories about these corrupt government programs, their tactics, and we also give voice to victims all across this nation. And just like with Rebecca, I write stories, and we do broadcast as well. My contact information is in there. If you got a story, I feel free. We encourage you to reach out. We want to hear from you. We are 100% supported by our listeners, viewers, and followers. Without you, USAGSA can't do what we're doing. So we have the different ways that you can support us: donor box, GoFundMe, Cash App, Chime, etc. You want to take a stand with USAGSA and get all the media, all the materials, everything in one place. I encourage you to go to Patreon and become a patron. And you can sign up for free or get in for as little as $5 a month. By doing that, you're collectively with a group of people that you get everything first. And then sometimes, in most cases, you get it exclusively. So I encourage you to become a patron at Patreon. And our Substack, you can get those, you subscribe there free as well. But we have a paid service. If you want to be able to get all the stuff, then it does cost a little bit. It's just pennies, folks. It's just pennies. We're not doing this to make money. But we have to have these things in place to keep the viability of USAGSA strong, and for us to continue to grow and do what we're doing. So Rebecca's fixing to call from Delta State Correctional Facility in Greenville, Mississippi. And she got a short period of time, but we're going to get it out. And she's been locked up for a little over 2 years. And if something doesn't change, she's got 22 more years to do. And folks, I don't know what it would be like waking up to that. But her faith is strong. A lot of people have been praying. I want to encourage you to keep doing that. I need your prayers. She needs your prayers. Her family needs your prayers. And she is seeing the silver lining behind this cloud, because these things were done publicly, and they're documented, and they're abjectly, and they're not in the gray area. They're not almost wrong. They're completely dead wrong, which almost absolutely and certainly assures her of having her case overturned. There was no case. You can go to the Rebecca Baumgardner playlist and get all the stuff and learn all about her case and what's involved there. Please subscribe if you're not subscribed. Share, comment, like. We welcome your comments. Let us know what you think down there. And if you like it, share it. Please share it, and share it relentlessly. And God bless you for watching. And hold on, we're going to have Rebecca on here and let her give the good news here. It's not so good for the sheriff and the judge.
You have a call from an inmate at the Mrs. This call is from a correction facility and is subject to monitoring and recording. Thank you for using Global Tel-Link.
Hey, Rebecca.
Hey.
All right, we're on a hot mic.
Uh-oh.
So I've already kind of broke the ice here about what we're going to talk about with the Michelle Easterlin, judicial misconduct, and with the sheriff, obstruction of justice, which is a criminal act on his part. And it's enough to get Easterlin sanctioned, fined, and removed from the bench. And your case overturned because she went on record about this conversation. So tell everybody what happened and how it went down.
Okay, this is what happened. On May 23rd, which was the first day of my trial in 2023, after the trial, after the initial proceedings, after I was brought back to the jail, I called a friend of mine. I'm not going to say her name on the air.
Doesn't matter.
I called a friend of mine on the phone, on the jail phone, and that phone was recorded, of course. And we were discussing the proceedings that had happened that day in the trial. And I'm just going to use a little bit of language here because I'm just going to
keep it real, honey. Keep it real. Tell us what happened.
Exactly what I said. I called the judge a dumb bitch and the prosecutor a stupid motherfucker.
All righty.
Okay. And which I totally still agree that's what they are. And anyway, okay, so the sheriff the next day ran that recording up there to that courthouse for the sole purpose and intent to bias my judge.
But she went into the judge's chamber and had the judge listen to it. Am I correct?
That's right.
Okay.
That tape for no other reason but to bias her.
But here's the deal.
Nothing.
When he walked in, he knew what he was doing was obstruction of justice. Absolutely. And she knew when he walked in there, said, I've got something for you to listen to. Well, what is it? Well, it's Rebecca Bump, whatever. Well, first of all, I can't listen to it. That's improper. That's against the rules, and it's illegal. If you got something that I need to hear, ex parte, if you got something I need to hear, that it has to happen in the courtroom. It can't happen
behind closed doors.
Exactly. You can't do that. So they did this. Now, how do we know they did this? She went on the record and told everybody it happened, thinking that that would be her way of getting out of this, because she knew that they'd done shit in their nest, because she refused to hear it. She should have ran him out of there and got on to him and threatened him with contempt of court for trying that crap. But no, she goes on the stand and tries to dress it up, knowing that one day it's going to come back to haunt her, and you can't explain this away. It's wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong.
Hey, Richard, I know you've read this already, probably in the transcript that April sent you, but let me just say this. Michelle Easterling, the judge, even said on the record that she didn't hear anything derogatory being said about her. So she straight up lied because she heard that.
Right.
She heard me talking about her.
She's trying to save her ass, and there was no way of saving her ass. Once she listened to that and allowed that to happen, she knew that she could effectively be forfeiting her bench and being a judge and being fined and everything else and ruining her career and her name forever. Also, she knew that the sheriff was committing a felony and could be criminally charged. And did she do her
tampering with a judge, juror, or witness under the federal statute?
It's called, in the Mississippi statute, it's called obstruction of justice.
That's right. It's called obstruction of justice as well.
And that's a criminal charge.
Sure is.
Yeah.
And I intend to seek charges against Eddie Hawkins.
Right. We're going to work on that
complaint. Working on that right now.
Right. Yep. For both of them. And so this is the red herring. I mean, she's a judge. She went to law school. She knows better. And Eddie Hawkins knew better. But you know what? It's the good old boys club, and they do things different. They make these smoke-filled backroom deals like they made on your deal, and they railroaded you. And since they was already railroaded, and since everything else was a damn lie, perjured testimony, and all this other crap, well, why stop there? We want to make sure that the judge is biased and the judge hates you, and that you know that you called her everything but a child of God. I'm quite sure that he went and told Scott Cologne what he said about him too. And Scott Cologne is in this deal too, because Cologne didn't say, hold up.
They all heard it.
Right.
They all heard it. My attorneys were in the chambers when it happened, and the prosecutor and the judge. And when I came in that morning, I didn't know what had happened. Amanda Meadows walked up to me and she said, Eddie Hawkins just brought a jail recording up here and played it in
they can't do he can't do they cannot do that.
And she said, we're fixing to ask for a mistrial due to those statements.
And you should have got it. And should have got it. And they
denied it.
Oh, yep. Well, she will regret this. She's going, and they already regretting it, Rebecca. I mean, you've been down 2 years. You've been down 2 years. You will, honey. They went on record with this mistake. Well, they went on record with this mistake.
They did, but let me say this, Richard, and I want your opinion on it. I don't have too much confidence in the Judicial Commission sanctioning her, and this is the reason on the ex parte, because my attorneys were present. They're going to say it was not an ex parte hearing.
It doesn't matter.
However, it was totally prejudiced material, and it was not related at all to my charges. That's the thing, and there was no criminal behavior involved in that recording.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Well,
there was nothing, no business.
Well, and this just doubles down the fact that your attorneys were in on the deal anyway.
I totally believe that.
Right. So it's this audio was presented for one reason. There wasn't two reasons or three reasons, and that reason was to influence the judge's decision and everything that she did in this trial. Okay, that is judicial misconduct. You can't do it. The sheriff committed a crime.
He gave me all these years in prison.
Right.
That's why it worked. Okay.
The sheriff attempting to improperly influence a judge is considered misconduct and abuse of power. And depending on the circumstances, administrative discipline, termination, or criminal charges under the statutes related to obstruction of justice or official misconduct. So I'm telling you that Crooked Eddie Hawkins, now y'all think this is the only time? I mean, he just didn't know what he was doing. They had all the attorneys in there. You can't do this. That's the reason you have court, an open courtroom, a public forum, a jury of your peers, and that's where this thing is brought. You don't go in closed quarters and play a recorded phone conversation about the way the defendant feels about the judge. That hadn't got nothing to do with the case. That had nothing to do with the case. He did for one reason. Said, she said that about me. Okay, we'll see what happens. And we do know what happens. We know what happened through the whole deal. Easterling didn't allow testimony. She allowed this perjured testimony. She allowed all this stuff to happen. So it bothered. She claimed that she didn't see anything that bothered her on the recording. Bullshit. Her actions speak louder than words because she ruled against you on every turn. If you could have put your witnesses on and had they played all the confession tapes of the interrogation of these so-called snitches that were witnesses, you wouldn't have been convicted. And they knew that. So she wouldn't allow it.
Right, just like she wouldn't allow me to get the text messages between Jeff Evanson and Tanya Blanton. But guess what? I got one for them. I'm working on getting those text messages my own way, and I'm also going to get, Deanna Gaddis claimed that I called her in the middle of that drug deal, but I did not call her that day. Her husband did, and I'm going to get my phone records to prove I did not call her that day.
Well, she lied about everything. She lied about everything. Yeah.
Deanna Gaddis, let me tell you this. While we're on Deanna Gaddis, and I hope she's listening right now, she's got a roommate, okay, right now. And that roommate is telling all her dirty secrets, and she don't even know it. But we know for a fact that Deanna Gaddis is pregnant right now, and she's getting high again. She's getting high around her children. She's neglecting them again, and we know all this.
Is the police the baby daddy? I
we
mean,
don't know who.
I
They're
mean,
telling with her who the baby's daddy
I
is.
mean, we got some of these other snitches that got gonorrhea. So, you know, and they didn't get that. It wasn't airborne gonorrhea neither. So,
Yeah, it doesn't pass that way.
well,
I'd like to believe that.
I don't know.
But,
to hear them tell it down there in Lowndes County that somebody sneezed and that's how they was getting it. You know, and everybody's going along with it.
Well, that sheriff's department is in its death throes and it doesn't even know it.
Well,
they don't even realize how close they are to the end, but it's coming.
Yeah,
it's coming very soon.
It's long overdue, and she admitted this, and it's on the record, and I don't see how. It's just this goes to the appeals. It shouldn't even have to go to the appeals court. This case should be immediately overturned, and I don't think they're going to want to retry it. I mean,
oh no, they're not going to want to retry this case because see, we know now all the lies that they're.
Yeah, I don't know who they're going to put on the stand. Yeah.
So I know how to rebut all those lies now. So no, they're not going to want to do this at all. They're going to be very embarrassed. Yeah. More embarrassed than they're going to be.
So all these people went to law school: Scott Cologne, the judge, and Ben Rush, and Jim Wade, and
well, Scott Cologne went to law school in Uganda, and I don't even know if that's supposed to count in this country.
He went somewhere else too. I mean, sure it does. But look, you're being racist and intolerant and insensitive. I'm just kidding.
Who me?
Yeah, you can't say that.
You know, where is Uganda? I didn't even know
you can't say it. You can't say it. No, no.
What's that got to do with anything?
It ain't got that. The thing is people like him, and doggone it, he's just a good person, and leave him alone.
Oh, yeah.
And he gonna lie. Somebody, and all these lawyers on this high dollar dog and pony show they had there. Somebody said, "Hold up a minute, what are we doing here? We can't do this. We've already done enough." But to say that they was completely above board and everything, even when they did something that looked like it would come out looking crazy, she went on record and said they did it. She just trying to make it look like if we'd have done anything else, we wouldn't have allowed it. That's bullshit. That was just that little deal to cover up for all the other big deals that they done messed up.
Yeah, well, you know, the great thing about the Lord is he brings everything to the light.
That's right.
Dark.
That's right.
God.
That's right.
Glory be to God. Y'all hear me?
That's right.
I mean what I'm saying, because you know what God told me? He said, "Behold, I am with you wherever you go, and I will bring you back to this land, and I will not leave you until I have done what I said I'm going to do."
That's right.
That's what he told me today.
Right. Amen.
And I believe him.
And I'm going to tell you, that God does not think it's funny or humorous or give a pass when other people lie and commit these crimes in order to persecute somebody, to destroy them because you
or let the guilty go
right
free.
And they, you know, they couldn't get a case, so they just made one up. And the way they see it, well, she's done other things, we didn't catch her doing it, all comes out the wash. Well, my friend, that's not how it works. That may be what they're doing, but that ain't how it works. You can't just make something up and say, well, that's for all the stuff we didn't catch you doing. Now, what it was is you was talking gritty to them and exposing them. They didn't like that. They didn't like it, and you see what it got you. They thought they shut you up.
While you're talking about that, so you and April are doing an excellent job, and both of these channels are doing better than they ever did when I was out there. So
yeah, they are.
It's reaching a very bigger audience than it was before. They never saw that coming, and I love it.
No,
I love it. There's nothing they can do about it, and their house of cards is falling.
Yeah. As we continue to expose these people, not just in Lowndes County, but all over the dirty South and across this country, people are coming on board. We're getting more viewers and more support, and this we're being shadow banned, and and have they've done everything in the world to try to cover it up, bury it, hide it, and everything else. They don't want it out there, and but God sees it different, and the people that are supporting us, on both of our channels, we appreciate you.
Yeah, and that Biden administration that was causing all these government agencies to look the other way when all this stuff's going on, praise God, that is about to be dissolved. We got a new president coming in, and he is for the First Amendment, and he is a victim of the weaponized government himself.
Yeah, 4 or 5 felonies. 4 or 5 felonies. Yeah. I mean, they just they were pulling Rocky and Bullwinkle in these deals. That's what they do, folks. They've done it to me. I'm living proof of it. Of being wrongfully convicted and in prison for 10 years for something I didn't, something that was just made up. But the enemy always, when you start telling the truth, Rebecca, they want to attack the messenger. They don't care about how startling the news is. They want to try to kill the messenger. That's what they tried to do to Trump or anybody else that dare expose their corrupt asses.
60 seconds remaining. Praise God. You hear me?
What happened?
Praise God.
What, for the 60 seconds? Oh, I'm telling you.
Praise God for exposing these idiots, man.
Yeah, that's right. It's not, folks, I'm telling you, we got to have your support because I'm telling you, we've got all of our tax dollars and his weaponized government and criminals with badges coming full force and around the clock trying to shut us down.
Defund the police.
Well,
I love y'all. Thank y'all for your time.
Thank you, Rebecca. Love you.
All right. May God's peace surround you. I love you.
I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right, there you have it, folks. That's 20 minutes. And I know she hates hearing that record and have to go through that. But as you can see, she is optimistic. She has other things in her appeal other than this snafu of obstruction of justice and judicial misconduct. So y'all keep her in your prayers. And I've got it. I feel pretty good about it that something's going to shake out on this, and something's going to change up with these judges and law enforcement. Hopefully in Lowndes County, because we hadn't even scratched the surface of people that have been murdered at the hands of law enforcement. First thing comes to mind, Austin Hines, 19 years old, murdered in cold blood, shot him like a rabid dog, broad daylight in the street, and then finished him off with a shotgun blast to his head. They couldn't even have an open casket. He didn't have a weapon. And 100 cops there, they said they were threatened. I mean, he didn't wear a $1.05 soaking wet, folks. He made a rap song and he said some unsavory things about the police. They told him to take it off YouTube. He said, I'm not going to do it. It's still there. And one of the members of Lowndes County Sheriff's Department made it very clear. It wasn't if, but when they were going to finish him off and shut him up for good. People have testified to that. Nobody's been charged. Nobody's been held accountable. The family's been destroyed. A 19-year-old went to his grave with his sweetest music still unplayed for simply exercising his constitutionally protected freedoms of free speech. They didn't like it, and that's the way they handled it. And the same people that did that and other things, they're in Lowndes County, the same people that made sure they got Rebecca Baumgartner off of YouTube, off the air, and in prison until she died. Folks, we can't do it. We can't do it like that. So I encourage you to join USAGSA, become a patron, and help us continue to grow. Also, I'm going to put the link to Lowndes County Accountability. That's Mississippi Delta, Mississippi Queen Audits. I'll have that link in the description. You can jump over there and see all the stuff that Rebecca did and that what her sister April's doing. And then on her playlist on this channel, the interviews her going through her trial and the different things that's going on. Until next time, God bless you.
They call me a